Hey, what's up, guys? Um, it's around 9:30 in the morning. I just want to check in. I'm actually kind of stuck on a job. I'm waiting for a part delivery, so I thought this was a good opportunity to make a quick video before the day gets too crazy. Slept okay last night. Got about, I think, a little bit under 6 hours. I ran 4.5 miles yesterday, which is the best run I've had in a year. I took a day off just to rest my legs and my feet, and man, I felt it yesterday. I felt really good. Um, so that's an improvement. I can kind of feel physically I'm getting a little bit stronger now. Um, yeah, so I wanted to make a video today about some of the good things that have happened since I quit Kratom, at least some of the benefits. So, number one, and a big number one, is my skin. My skin within just a couple weeks is 1,000 times better. In fact, just yesterday after I ran and I took a shower, I kind of was like, just, I don't know, feeling my back or whatever. And I noticed, I was like, holy cow. And I sat down next to Andrea and I'm like, here, feel my back. And she put her hand up my shirt and she's like, oh my God, what did you do? And at first I was like freaked out, like maybe I didn't, I'm like, what am I, like sunburned or something? Like what? She's like, no, it is so smooth. I've never felt your skin be that smooth before. Because when you're on Kratom, and I don't know what it is, it must be like just jamming your pores up or you're just oozing toxins or something. But even up here, like I used to have all these little nodules or like little mini pimples all up here, and you can see they're pretty much gone, and they're all like red. Up here, especially with me, I wear a hat a lot, so that's always jacked up. And now it's like I'm having to wash my face a couple times a day because it's just like this grease is kicking out of you. But oh my God, it's like so smooth. And yeah, my back, my whole body, I always get like little bumps on my chest and my stomach, probably from like when I'm sitting down like this, and you got your gut pushed up to your chest and all that. And when this will kind of lead into the second thing. When I was using Kratom, I ran so hot all day. I could barely, walk a block, and I would be sweating like a pig. And that's also probably what was contributing to, acne and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I just always had a pool of sweat sitting in my chest and my stomach here. So I'm sure that's uh, one of the reasons why that's getting better. And it's probably why I feel cold all the time. I was probably running like 10 degrees too hot all the time, and now I'm kind of leveling back down to normal. And so in my body, that feels cold to me. So not sweating as much is so nice. And then this is also going to lead into the third thing. No wobbles, no dizziness, no nausea. Um, I completely replaced my deck this last summer while I was still actively using. And it was a ton of manual labor. I had really no machines, and it was a big job because I didn't just install a deck. I installed a whole new drainage system under the deck, had to trench drainage lines all the way out to the back. I mean, I'm talking like 3-4 feet deep trenches all dug by hand that go for 20-30 feet. And I remember a couple times, I would hit clay and I'd have to go grab a pickaxe to knock some clay out, and I would take 2 swings and feel like I was just gonna pass out. Like my legs would turn to noodles, and then I would shake for the next hour or two, visibly shake to people around me. Where even Andrew's like, "Are you okay?" I'd pick up a tool and my hand would be like this. She's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just overworked." And that always used to freak me out with the heart condition, because one of the only symptoms that something is going on with your heart when you have Brugada is dizziness and fainting. That's really one of the only symptoms. So, when I feel like I'm going to faint or I could barely walk, obviously that was causing me anxiety, me worried about my heart, and then that would throw me into a panic attack, which leads me into my next benefit. I have not had one panic attack in the last 3 weeks. Now, a lot of that has to do with me exercising a ton. I mean, basically, as soon as I started exercising, it pretty much stopped when I was since I started consistently running. No panic attacks. And I mean, I would get like full on panic attacks, especially with my heart. I would get like a heart palpitation and think like, oh my God, is this it? This is it. And then I would just lock up for an hour and just spiral mentally and just flat out panic. And sometimes it didn't stop. And that's why, I mean, over the last year, I've had to, go get help for anxiety because I was starting to lose my mind. It was happening like almost every other day. Go figure, start exercising, cut the kratom out, haven't had a panic attack. And I shouldn't even say like a few weeks, it's probably been over a month. And that's even with going through withdrawals and precipitated withdrawals and all that. I mean, those are like kind of like a cycle of terror when you're in that, but it's not, for me, it wasn't panic. I wasn't worried I was going to die, So those are like 4 things that right out of the gate have improved. And I'm hoping that just kind of keeps getting better. Like I said, physically, I'm starting to get my legs under me a little bit. Like, you feel so weak in detox. You really feel like a shell of yourself. But, you can even see it in your body. Like, it almost looks like, for me, I could tell right away. Like, it almost feels like it looks like I have no testosterone in my body. Like my pecs kind of like sag a little bit, or, I just kind of look like a deflated balloon sometimes. But that's even starting to get better now. Like, I can feel like everything's starting to like tighten up, and it's starting to look like my old body again. So that's great. And also because on Kratom, I ate like dog shit. There were months that would go by, and especially like through the holidays and stuff, with just candy and chocolates, and I would just pig out. And then I mentioned earlier video, I would pig out at night, which is just awful for you. And I got up to just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I hit the most I've ever weighed in my life, which so some people, it's gonna be like, oh, poor baby. Like, I hit 196 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall. I've never even saw 190 in my life. I've always been a pretty, somewhat skinny person, but my real ideal weight is probably like around 175, 180. And so, yeah, I just ate like dog shit and put on all this weight, and it's actually been a struggle coming off. When I didn't eat for a couple of days with the precipitated, and then I had very light appetite for, the last couple of weeks. I stepped on the scale thinking it was going to be like, oh, this is going to be like 172 or something. I step on the scale, and it's like, you lost 7 pounds. You're like, well, shit. So, but that's getting better. So I really wanted to just kind of document, if anybody is thinking about quitting. And I know it's tough when you see a lot of detox videos of people just being miserable and trying to struggle through every minute. And there is a lot of that. And even I'm dealing with that still. But there are lots of benefits. All those little things that you notice when you're actively using that you hate, like your skin or your parents or how you feel and all that stuff, pretty quickly it goes away. So if anybody's dealing with that stuff and they really can't stand it anymore, just go for it, because it'll get better, and it gets better somewhat fast. So I have to get this job done, and then I will either report in tonight or tomorrow about how my cardiologist appointment went. And other than that, I don't know. Hope everyone's doing well. All right, love you guys.